blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for August the 5th, 2024. We are officially at training camp week. Let me do an audio check real quick. Make sure we good to go. And yeah, we'll go from there. Let me see. We live. Mic check, mic check. Yep. All right, we are live, man, and ready to go. Let me shout y'all out in the comment section real quick. Man, today was something else. Today was something else, man. Let me pop out this chat real quick. Friday, let me address Friday real quick. Man, I really did try to get on. So my wife and her sister and a friend of theirs, they went to Colorado on Friday. So I had to wind up taking them to the train station. Then I came back. I had a ton of stuff to do on Friday, and I really tried to get on. Next thing I know, it was 2, then it was 3. Then I was like, okay, well, maybe I can get on at 4 or 5, but then I had to make videos. And then then my son went to his mom's house. So that turned into not being able to get on at all. And by the time I had time, it was long past the time that I could have, respectfully got on. So I said I would get on today. I told y'all I'm back, man, and I am back, especially during the season. We'll figure out the off season when the off season comes. So that's what happened Friday. Lion Syndicate Film Syndicate Film Room. That did have a typo in the channel name, but I use this Bluetooth keyboard and it freezes sometimes. But I'm a horrible proofreader, so I need to really start doing that. So, and I think that's it, man. I think we up to date. But let me shout out everybody in the chat. What's up, Rick? Aaron, what's up, big dog? Win, the great one, Mike, Braylon, Keitho. What's up, kid? Rapper says, what up, Grid? Bought a Gibbs and Hutchinson shirt while you were streaming last week. I think excited for the season. You mean, hey, kid, did you use the link, bro? If you used the link, that might have been you. That might have been you. What's up? Dante says, what's up, bro? How you doing? Durn, my man. What's up, what's up, what's up? What's up, Gil, I am? What's up, Stanley? Nate, what's good, bro? Nate, did you make a decision yet, man? Oh, what number you want me to be when I give the Hutchinson bobblehead away? All right, man, we got a lot to talk about in a little time to do it. A lot of stuff happened today. We had a couple guys go down. The newly acquired Kevin Zeitler, he goes down. Shoulder injury. Terrion Arnold got a concussion. I watched the play. Yeah, the dude had to outweigh him by 100 pounds. It didn't look that bad, but, things are not always what they appear. So he's being evaluated now with a concussion, which means if he fails concussion protocol, he's not playing on Thursday. which kind of sucks. I mean, I hope he's okay, but that kind of sucks, man, because Neighbors was scorching the secondary. That is what reports are saying coming out of camp. So I got some thoughts on that, and I think they're going to be different from what you think, but we're going to talk about that. Royal Ace, what's up? What's up? What's up, Fresh and Fly? What's going on? Yeah. They both going. B, you know that because I think you send me the links. We also have the unofficial depth chart that is out. I'm going to make a video about that on Lion Syndicate. That's going to be the After Dark segment. And then after this is over, I'm assuming day 9 observations will be out, and we'll be talking about that. If you are part of the Syndicate members, we are having a fantasy football league. Okay, each tier is having its own league, so be ready for that. You'll have plenty of time to know when it's coming. All right, so be ready for that. Kid says, I used the code, my brother. Appreciate you, man. I saw somebody bought something, and I was like, that's what's up. That's because that Fanatics link, people been using that consistently, man, like every single week. So that's what's up. What's up, Eric? Says, what up, Doe? From Dover Air Force Base. What's up, my man? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So the Detroit Lions are playing football in 77 hours. Shout out to Rick for that information. In 77 hours, 7 o'clock on Thursday, we will have preseason football, man. I cannot believe it. Now, I made a video on my other channel, but we're going to talk about it here. But first of all, let's talk about the injury, like the elephant in the room. Let me see if I can find this tweet, because I hope these guys are okay. Let me see what M Live is saying about the 2 injuries that we had, because I hope that they're not, especially the one to Terrion, man. I hope they're not as bad as they could be. Okay, so they're making. So when did M Live start making you sign in? When did they start making memberships? You need memberships now for Kyle Minke stuff? Okay. All right. Well, we can do it anyway. So the Detroit Lions had joint practice, the first one of the season. I think they have one with the Steelers. I'm not certain, but they had joint practice with the New York Giants today. There were a total of 8 skirmishes in this thing. There were 3 big fights. They called them brawls, like a brawl. Y'all remember the Montgomery brawl last year? That's what they kind of compared, not the Montgomery brawl, but a brawl. And I'm saying to myself, what is happening between these 2 teams? Why are they so hostile? Is it because it was summer and they ready to hit somebody, or what's going on here? But 2 of our players, one a rookie, and both valuable components of the team suffered injuries. We have yet to see what they are. The first one is Terrion Arnold, the rookie, had a concussion. He was being blocked, and I forgot the guard's name, man, but this dude looks like Andre the Giant or something, and just trucked him, and apparently he received a potential concussion from that. Now, if that is the case, I mean, the dude ain't even taking a snap in the NFL, and that'll suck to have his first, like, official concussion in the NFL, and it's from practice. Like, and you have the Guardian caps on. So imagine if he didn't have it. Now, hopefully the Guardian cap will do its job and allow him to escape with not a concussion. So it's not confirmed yet that he has a concussion. I guess he was being evaluated for a concussion. Now, if he does have one, that means he's not going to play on Thursday. And I think he was going to play, even though he's potentially could be our starting corner. Don't forget, Emmanuel Mosley could also go there as well. We got Carlton Davis, who won't play, but then you have that battle for number 2. And I think the rookies, man, they need some playing time. And wherever you are, you need some playing time. So for him to go out with a concussion is going to suck. If that is the case, I'm sure we'll know later what's going on there. And then the guard that came in to replace Jonah Jackson, Kevin Zeitler, he is being evaluated with a shoulder injury, which is like, what the heck, man? So I think they move Graham over to his side or something like that. I don't know. I just kind of came home, got on, and started talking about it. So I don't know what the outcome and what the severity of these injuries are, but that is going to suck if both of them guys are out. Arnold concussed. Yeah, well, see, the thing is, B, if he is concussed, he can still pass concussion protocol, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, but to be where you haven't even taken a snap in the NFL, to be where it is 3 preseason games and you need as much as you can get, especially being the 24th overall pick, right? You need to come in there, and our secondary, who we're going to talk about later, okay? Our secondary, you're part of that improvement. You're part of that overhaul, and we need this guy to be healthy. So hopefully it is not that big of a deal, and we can see him in action on Thursday. What's up? Gillum says, I'm not worried about Terrion yet. He's getting used to this for the first time, but we're not playing around with nobody. We standing on business. Well, if you mean as far as the secondary and him potentially getting toasted back there, I'm not worried either. Look, I need to see it in the actual game. He's a rookie. I'm gonna cut him some slack. I want our secondary to be improved. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think, are you nervous? Are you nervous not about Terrion and his ability, but if he's concussed, him missing the game on Thursday, would you rather him sit out? Are you upset? I mean, and if you go look at the play, you're like, how did it really happen? I couldn't really see if there was any contact to his head, but apparently there was. And as far as Kevin, hopefully we'll know some information later on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Says that extra padding does nothing to prevent a concussion. It's just for looks. Well, Rick, that sucks. Why even have it on? Why? It looks goofy. So why even have it on? And then, if I'm not mistaken, these guys can wear it during the preseason games. So if it doesn't do anything, why even have it on? I don't understand that at all. Wynn says no starters for the game. That is a negative, bro. They are not. Dan Campbell has already said that he's not playing any starters. So it's going to be very close to last year, how there were no starters that played last year. Okay, where are we at here? Oh, okay. All right, I saw something. But so it's some stuff I want to talk about, but I also want to save it for my video as well. But we have a potential battle at wide receiver. Like this, it's going to be some cuts that we don't expect or that we need to prepare for, because there's a good opportunity, a good chance that Donovan Peoples-Jones doesn't even make this team. It's supposed to prevent concussions. It's unfortunate if he has one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So imagine, kid, if he does have a concussion, imagine if he didn't have it on. But, I don't know how much these things actually work. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I hope that he overall is okay, because he needs to be out there. He needs to be out there as far as this preseason game. I just saw something about somebody being traded, about a potential trade. We might have to talk about that. J-Mo was killing them. That's what I heard. The first play, they did a red zone play. I have to do the day 9 reactions. We'll do that. But that's what I heard, that J-Mo is going to be kind of a big deal when it comes to the Detroit Lions this season. Will Jamison Williams get an extension for the Lions? How about we pick up his 5th-year option first? Let him get 500 yards. Then we'll talk about an extension. Green could get cut. Yes. You know what we'll do? We'll talk about this in more detail. All right. I'm not worried if he clears protocol. Let him go play this Thursday. If he does clear, he will play. He will 100% play. He will 100% play. Very quiet day for the defense, I feel like. Here's what's going to happen with me. This year, I am going to be silent. I'm going to be silent. Well, that's probably a lie. That's probably a lie. I am going to really kind of pace myself. It's going to be a long season. So if game 1, the defense is getting scorched, I'll probably have a mild reaction. It's not going to be huge, so I say. It's going to be a mild reaction. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait right around that trade deadline. Right around there. We're going to keep an eye on the defense, the pass rush, the number of sacks. Where does the secondary, our pass defense rank? We're going to stay right around there. And then once that trade deadline come, then you're going to see. That's when I'm going to be chill with Broderick. I'm going to be chill with the secondary. I'm going to be chill probably with everything but the pass rush. But once that trade deadline hit, oh, man. And don't let us lose to the Texans. Like, we lose to the Texans, bro, with Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson Jr. I mean, even the Minnesota Vikings. They got Dallas Turner, Andrew Van Ginkel. So I'm a keep my rage in until the time is necessary. What's up, Sean? Says, what's up, Derek? You ready for Thursday's game? No and yes at the same time. So my streaming setup was completely wiped out. I don't know what happened. I backed up my computer and all the presets in the software that I use. For some reason, the connection was severed. And now I have to redo everything. So we'll see if the NFL continues to block our streams. If they do, then I'll just slap up a green screen and a I don't know, banner. And if they don't, then maybe I'll put some extra work into it. Your reaction gonna be huge, Grid. I think DPJ is out of here. Could we trade DPJ? I doubt it. I think he gets cut. Speaking of that, let's talk about the depth chart. All right, this is the unofficial depth chart for the Detroit Lions. It released yesterday, okay? And I think that you guys are going to want to see this. So let me move this over here. Let me bring this over here. Okay. I think this is going to be good, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. Also, I've got something planned as well that might not be for this channel, but I'll tell you anyway. The number that you guys used to call in to the post-game show, that same number will be used as a call-in to leave voicemails. If it works, I think it does. And I have a segment. I know Locked On Lions is doing it. I wanted to do it a couple years ago. I just never got around to it. So it seems like I'm biting off of him, but I'm not really doing that. And we'll have like one video a week where everything is run by the callers. So we'll have people, I'll go through and I'll pick questions and stuff like that and then give you my thoughts based on those questions. Green isn't very good. Dern, yeah. 7th round pick, but everybody was saying he's great, that he was a dog in North Carolina and blah, blah, blah. We'll see, man. We shall see. Waste of a draft pick. Fountain definitely could be making the team. Okay, without further ado, again, watch my video on my other channel. I don't think it matters. So you might see dual videos, but they'll have a different kind of take. This one is more of a live discussion. So make sure when I do a segment, when I do a segment, make sure y'all keep the comments about the segment so I can bring your comments into the video. All right, we're about to make a video about the depth chart, unofficial depth chart. All right, let's go. All right, so the Detroit Lions released the unofficial depth chart yesterday. Now, of course, this is still the 90-man roster. We are in training camp. We've got 3 preseason games, a couple more practices. So a lot can be changed. A lot can be determined in those 3 preseason games. We saw Craig Reynolds a few years ago went from, probably not making the team and then got on the team. And I remember specifically, it was that last game that led into the cuts. And this is still when the NFL was doing the different cut days. This is the second year now of just one cut. The Lions release those cuts at different times, but they make them, I guess, just one day, just the cuts happen. And Craig Reynolds was a guy that used that last game to solidify his place on the team. Undrafted free agent, and he's been on the team ever since. I think he makes the team this year. But I saw the unofficial depth chart from DetroitLions.com. And this is obviously there's no certainty that it's going to be this way. But I think this is a good indication heading into the preseason what our team can look like. And I think it's going to be a few surprises on here and a few I told yous and a few you told me. All right. So I can keep it a buck and admit if I am all out in left field. So here is the unofficial depth chart from the DetroitLions.com. Let me move this so I can bring the chat back. All right. I think this is going to be fun. Now, you guys can't see it, but I'm going to do my best to, hopefully you can if you're watching this on TV. All right, so I'm going to go through this very quickly. First team, Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow, Frank Ragnow, Kevin Zeitler, Panay Sewell, Sam Laporta, Khalif Raymond, Jared Goff, David Montgomery. Now, what do you see here? You see 3 wide receivers. Those are one. Okay, let me do that. Let me go back. 1, 2, 3 being Khalif Raymond. Now, the Detroit Lions carried 5 wide receivers on their 53-man roster last year. Second team, Darius Fountain, Antoine Green. All right. Tom Kennedy, you might as well cross him off. Antoine Green. Count with me. That if you include Tom, that's 6. But we're going to cut Tom. Tom's not going to make it. Antoine Green would make number 5. What do we have here? Donovan Peoples-Jones, 3rd in the depth chart. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an issue. Isaiah Williams, undrafted free agent. Caden Davis is number 4. Shane Zylstra. Look at James Mitchell, number 4. Now, I think that although not all of these people will be cut, this 4th depth chart, like the 4th column, is a problem. Those are people who are on the bubble minus this guy. Sione Vaki, he's not getting cut. Everyone else in this column except Christian Mahogany is in danger of being cut. Now, how easy would it be if Caden Davis has a phenomenal camp that he comes in and pushes DPJ out the way? He comes in and pushes Antoine Green. This guy here, don't sleep on him. He's pushing both of these guys. He's pushing Antoine Green. He's pushing Donovan Peoples-Jones. Now, let's go down to the defense, where I will happily admit that I was wrong. Marcus Davenport, Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader, Aiden Hutchinson. Those are our front 4, starting front 4. Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold, Amik Robertson, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. One thing that I notice here. Okay, what are we doing? All right, so that is 2 linebackers. Derek Barnes is running with the second team so far. But if they run 3 linebackers, he's going to be in there. Second team, Josh Pascal, Kyle Pico, Levi Onwuzurike, James Houston. This means he's probably going to make the team. So if he does, I was wrong. 100%, no problem. Malcolm Rodriguez in his Rakestraw, Kendall Vildor, Emmanuel Mosley, Afatu Melifonwu, Brandon Joseph. I did not expect Brandon Joseph to make the team, but there he is. Isaac Unquo, Broderick Martin, Makai Wingo, Mitchell Agude, Ben Neiman, Jalen Reeves-Maben, Khalil Dorsey, Stephen Gilmore, CJ Moore, Cheelan Garnes. Now, John Kaminsky, he is going to be on IR, but there you go. 4th team, 4th column, in danger of not making the team. You can't say anybody on this list is going to make the team. The surprise is this guy right here, Matthew Betts. Matthew Betts got to make a huge jump, according to the unofficial depth chart, to make the 53-man roster. Now, that doesn't mean that he can't go to the 16-man practice squad, so it's not all doom and gloom. All right? This guy here is going to be working his tail off to push this guy here out the way. Even this guy here. So, and then we go down to Jake Bates, the only kicker on the roster, Jack Fox, Scott Daly, Khalif Raymond returning punts, and blah, 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 right? Strickland ain't making the team. I saw him in camp. He's not making the team. Maurice Morris made a good play today. He's not making the team. So the unofficial depth chart, this column over here, all of these guys are in danger of not making the team, in my opinion, except 2, Vaki and Christian Mahogany. Because we drafted both of them, they're not getting cut. Worst case scenario for Christian, he goes on IR or the practice squad, developmental guy. This guy makes the team. So that is the unofficial depth chart for the Detroit Lions heading into the preseason. Couple surprises on there for me. To me, Donovan Peoples-Jones is not a surprise. You have not heard anything about him. To me, Antoine Green being ahead of him just tells you how little you've heard about Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'm going to say something, and I'm going to upset a lot of Brad Holmes people right now. If Donovan Peoples-Jones does not make this football team, say it with me, that trade was a waste, 100%. I will say, when it comes to bringing outside receivers in here, outside of Josh Reynolds, outside of Khalif Raymond, Brad Holmes don't have the best track record. Drafting, great. That's what he does. Outside of that, if you take out Khalif Raymond and Josh Reynolds, you look at the Trinity Benson, you look at Donovan Peoples-Jones, there might be a little work that need to be done there. So I just read about the Houston Texans and how much of a stud their wide receiver room is. And if you look at that list, all of them dudes are scary. We don't have a bunch of scary dudes on our team. If you want to be real, as far as wide receiver, if you want to be real, you take Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not talking about Sam Laporta. Okay, he's a tight end. I'm not talking about Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield. I'm talking about your designation is WR. You got Jamison Williams who killing folks. Want to see that translate to the regular season. Amon-Ra St. Brown, we've heard this before. We already know who he is. You take those two guys away, what does our wide receiver room look like? I don't know. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if a veteran who's cut, like I said before, Robert Woods is a guy that I will watch out for. He really is, because he might wind up being the odd man out. I think it's a slim chance it's John Mechie, but that's super duper slim. I think it would be Robert before John. But let me know your thoughts, man. What do you think of the unofficial Detroit Lions 90-man depth chart? Mosley comeback player of the year. DPJ makes it. Green should be cut. Okay, Jesse. Right now, Antoine Green is ranking a little bit higher. Now, of course, this is unofficial, but I'm just saying. Could a lot of these bums at wide receiver bring in John Mechie? Darn, I would love to have John Mechie. Could you imagine Jamison Williams, John Mechie, Amon-Ra? I mean, come on, bro. But I'm starting to think that the Texans might not cut him. Speaking of receivers, all right? So Puka Nacua gets hurt today, and they are looking week to week. Now, of course, we've only got about a month, man. And I want this guy to be healthy. I don't want anybody to be hurt, but I want Puka Nacua to be healthy. When the Rams come back to Ford Field, I want to play them at full strength. Now, they don't have Aaron Donald, okay? But I want to play these guys at full strength. I don't want Puka Nacua to be out. We got to get our revenge on him. He tore our secondary up. So I hope that he's okay and that he can play in a couple of weeks. Dylan, what's up, man? Oh, I got to tell y'all, because I wasn't on Friday. So let's just take a brief detour real quick. We'll come back. The VIP, man, oh man. VIP at Detroit Lions training camp made me feel special. I painted this picture before, but you go in, okay, and I'll be real brief because I talked about it a lot on Thursday. You go in. The sun is not an option, not a problem at all. You're nowhere near the sun. They got these big old industrial Dyson-looking fans in the corner. They had food, and I'm not talking about like Lunchables or those airplane snacks. I'm talking about catered food. They had sternos of chicken. It was chicken. I think some chicken sandwiches, some breakfast stuff. It was fruit in a cup. It was multiple different beverages. You wanted some coffee, here you go. Like whatever you wanted. It was fantastic. And they had some little trinkets that you could, take off. I'm like, bruh, I need to get in VIP. I need to be getting VIP. Hold on. Nope, not going there. So I got to be, Dylan, were you in VIP, bro, when you went? Because I got the little fanny pack thing, man. So I would take John Mechie. I really would. Matter of fact, let me pull up the Houston Texans roster because we might have to have a legit conversation. I made a video about this, but y'all don't want to hear it, man. Y'all didn't really want to hear it. So if anybody has any information about the two injuries on our team, please let us know so I can. Okay, we're a team. Nah, it was an extra reward for season ticket holders. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, the Fanny Boy? I know you gave me one. Now I got three. I got three Fanny Boys. Hey, kid, I need to know how you get into VIP, bro. That's all I'm saying. Because I don't want to not be in VIP ever again. Because it was fantastic. Okay, where are we at? No, I don't want to sign up. Okay, now we looked at this before. Ooh-wee. Wow, okay. I meant to get VIP. It was season ticket rewards out of like 8. Really? I think that's how I got in, bro. Yeah, I'm going to try and get on that wait list, bro. It's time. All right, so let's do this. We're going to talk about receivers, potential receivers. All right, so we talked about potential receivers for the Detroit Lions and how I feel that the wide receiver room is a little light. I feel like we need some help. You take away St. Brown, you take away Jamison Williams, you take away Khalif Raymond, because Khalif Raymond's going to be wide receiver number 3. Lions usually roll with 5 to 6. And that 4, 5, and 6 is a battle. Donovan Peoples-Jones, not a lock. None of those guys are a lock. I say the closest one is Reese Fountain, all right, who is proving his worth, but we still could use some help. And I made a video on my other channel about this, but I want to see what you guys have to say. I feel like with the number of wide receivers that the Houston Texans have and the number of potential starters, that there will be an odd man or two out from the Houston Texans that the Detroit Lions can look at. Now, I want to get your opinion, the chat and on playback. What do you think? Which one of these receivers you think could be cut? And who would you take? Now, remember, of course, usually teams put 2 to 3 wide receivers on their 16-man practice squad. So the Houston Texans, last time I checked, they had 14 wide receivers. 14. Let's say they carry 5 to 6. That leaves 8 to 9, okay, looking for a new team, potentially. Let's say they put 2 to 3 on the practice squad. That leaves, okay, 6 to 7. Who now are looking for a team. All right. Now, I want to know what your opinion is when it comes to the potential odd man out or two. And who would you like to see on the Detroit Lions? The reason I keep bringing this up is because I feel like this is actual potential. All right. So here is these are the receivers for the Houston Texans. We're going to start at the bottom here. Noah Brown. Now, let's go through them. Let's see which ones could start, and then we can go from there. Noah Brown, all right? Quintez Cephas, former Detroit Lion. They couldn't even put the brother in a Texans uniform. Put him in a Texans uniform. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, Xavier Hutchinson, Jalen Janke, Jimmy Johnson, John Mechie III, Steven Sims, Ben Skoranek, Robert Woods. All right? There you go. It's a lot of guys. Now, which one of these guys could be starters? Let's go through it again. Noah Brown, yes. Quintez Cephas, probably not. Nico Collins, yes, that's 2. Tank Dell, yes, that's 3. Stephon Diggs, yes, that's 4. Xavier, not sure. Jaden, not sure. Jimmy Johnson, not sure. John Mechie, that's 5. Steven Sims, I don't know. Ben Skoranek, that's 6. Robert Woods is 7. Now, like I said earlier, to start this segment, most teams only rock with 5 to 6 on their 53-man roster. We counted 7 potential starters. Ben Skoranek, they traded for Ben Skoranek, former Ram. They're not going to so easily give up on him. Robert Woods, 32. Ben Skoranek, 27. Robert Woods is the oldest wide receiver on this list. The oldest wide receiver on this list. In my opinion, I think that Robert Woods is the odd man out. I think they could cut Ben Skoranek before they cut John Mechie. If I had to make a choice, I'm taking Robert Woods because of his connection to Jared Goff. Jared Goff is going to, believe it or not, we are currently missing a Josh Reynolds type guy. We've already established that Donovan Peoples-Jones may not make this team. Somebody said you want Hutch. Xavier, see, I don't know much about him. I have no idea. One of these guys, a lot of these guys ain't going to be on this team. Look at their receiver core, though. I mean, even Quintez Cephas. Noah Brown, check. Nico Collins, check. Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs. That's scary right there. And you ain't even got to wide receiver number 5 yet. And we play these dudes. So our secondary really going to have to be next level to put clamps on these guys. We're going to have to get to the quarterback as well. That's going to be a fight right there, man. I'm excited about that game. That might be one of my most anticipated games of the year, and I'm hoping to be there. So we've already established the number of receivers they have. Now, if you compared the Texans to the Detroit Lions, I mean, really, who got the scarier wide receiver core? Who got the scariest wide receiver core? Now, Patrick says, I disagree. I think we'll be okay with what we have. Okay. All right. Even though he messed up, I wouldn't mind bringing Cephas again or Woods. None of what we have other than Cephas. You think Xavier Hutchinson starts. Okay. Well, if y'all think Hutchinson starts, where does that put John Mechie? Because you're talking about Xavier would be number 5. So you got John Skoranek and Woods all fighting for wide receiver number 6. So which one of these guys you taking? If John Mechie's cut, give me him in a second. Doubt he's cut because he's on his 3rd year, trade capital, he could be traded. Now that's a question for you there. If the Houston Texans were to trade John Mechie, what would you do? What's the best offer you would give them? But then again, we traded for Donovan Peoples-Jones last year. So this is when it gets good. If a guy is cut, I'm taking Robert Woods. If the trade is good enough, I would entertain John Mechie. Because a healthy John Mechie, a healthy Jameson Williams, a healthy St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, David Montgomery, that is enough to get you giddy. You know what I'm saying? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which one could you see possibly playing for the Detroit Lions? Only Woods, but he on the wrong side of 30. No more old people. Sorry. Hey, Patrick, you know I had nothing to do with that. That's your GM. That's Brad Matthias, Jerome Cornelius Holmes. He's the one that decides, and he loves his guys over 30. You know, he loves those guys, and that's real. I know it's off topic, but Dylan Raiola should be entering the draft about the time Goff's contract is up, maybe following his dad's footsteps. Ryan, that's early than the mug, bro. That's right. That's early than the mug. Braylon says, my final answer is Robert Woods. I think Robert's the odd man out. I think it would go in this order. Honestly, Robert, Skoranek, Mechie. Or, you know, anyone at Cephas, Cephas not even going to penetrate the roster, in my opinion. He might be a practice squad guy. What's up, H8 says whoever is coming off an injury is who Holmes. Well, then we need to go get Judon. Let's go get Matthew Judon, bro. I say Woods to help young receivers. Ryan, I would love that. I really would. Think about Robert Woods. To be honest with you, I think Mechie, because Mechie's year 3, he's got a 4-year deal. So Mechie, if the Lions could, okay, let me ask you this. I don't know what our draft picks are looking like, so I'm just throwing something out here. Would you trade a conditional 3rd-round pick for John Mechie? Conditional 3rd, which means it could be a 4th, right? Or could it be a conditional 4th? Could it be a 3rd? Either way. Would you trade a 3rd or 4th round pick for John Mechie, the 3rd? Kid says, yep, anytime. We can't think about that right now. He'll be a top prospect anyway. Okay, Hunt You. What's up, Hunt You? Been a long time, bro. Says, definitely not a 3rd or 4th. Wynn says yes. Wow, Patrick says no, maybe a 6th. I don't know, Patrick. Dude was a 2nd round pick. He's only 24. Yes, he had cancer, but he's got massive potential. A 6th round pick, I don't know if they're going to go for that. I don't know if they're going to go for that. I wouldn't. If I'm the Houston Texans, I'm not doing that. For sure. So the Detroit Lions, man, preseason is upon us. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about just football being back in general. How fast the summer has gone. And I don't know if it's because of the NFC title game, I really don't know. What do you think? Why do you think this offseason has flown past so fast? Because I really don't know. I really don't know. Okay, so Patrick says, I'm not sure his personality fits the Lions. You know what, Patrick? I think it would. John Mechie, ain't no problems. Quiet. You know, he just was battling illness. And Josh Pascal also had cancer. So he's not out of the realm of possibility. I don't think John Mechie would be a problem at all as far as attitude and personality for the Detroit Lions. NFC title game or time is moving fast. Definitely felt faster because of the Lions' last season's success. So imagine if the Lions would have. I look at the offseason like this. Like, why did it go so fast? So think about this. The Lions extended their season by 3 weeks, 21 days. That's it. The last game was played on the 7th of January. Our last game was played on the 28th of January. That's only 3 weeks. Super Bowl extends the season 5 weeks. So I look at it in 3 ways. Where our season ended 3 weeks later than the regular season. Had we gone to the Super Bowl is another way. That's a 5-week extension. Had we won the Super Bowl, here's what I think would have happened. Lions win the Super Bowl, I think that's how quick the offseason goes. If the Lions would have won the Super Bowl, we would have blinked and been at preseason. Could you imagine? We win a Super Bowl. 2 days later is the parade on Woodward Avenue. We crazy. Now the entire offseason, we're talking about defending Super Bowl champion Detroit Lions. However, I think this year, you know what we haven't heard? It's because you're getting old, LOL. All right. Says that's major drive alone. He beat cancer because we have a great team. We had a great year. Okay. Dang, I forgot what I was about to say. Thank you, Rick. Rick, you did that, bro. You messed me up. It has something to do with, season games. Man, I'm telling you, I need some bullet points so I can always, but a lot of this stuff, a lot of my shows, man, are off the cuff. So it was something I was going to say about the Super Bowl, Detroit Lions, Super Bowl. I don't remember, but that's okay though, because we're going to keep it moving. So we're going to be talking about after this preseason game, what is it that you want to see? So we'll be live on Wednesday. I don't think I have anything to do Wednesday during this time. So we'll be live on Wednesday. Then we'll be live on Friday to talk about the preseason. What is it that you want to see from the preseason? I want to see the Detroit Lions. I want to see the defense. Now, we're not going to see a lot of first-team guys unless you're a rookie. So I think that second-team defense, that defensive depth is going to go a long way in showing us what the starters are going to look like. Brett outsmarted the Rams. Sounds like Jonah Jackson broke a nail again. Do you know when he gonna play in the black? Oh man. The offseason went fast because the Lions are rocking right now and everyone else is digging for any info they can. I want to see, number one thing I want to see is second team defense. That's what I want to see. I want to see, can we get to the quarterback? I want to see how the secondary is looking. We know it's probably going to be Carlton Davis and Terrion Arnold. Even though Terrion is a potential starter, he is going to be out there. He's going to be out there because he needs to be. It's very rare, unless you are a quarterback, that you are a rookie and you don't play any preseason at all. We saw Brian Branch play some preseason, lit Cole Beasley up last year. And I just realized that we played the Giants last year for the very first preseason game. The only difference is we didn't have joint practices. Yeah, Jonah Jackson out for the preseason. Nice. You know what, man? Jonah kind of upset me because I want to play with Matthew, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, shut up. Go play with Matthew. Oh, you know what? Let's have some fun. All right? We about to have some fun. I'm about to blindside you with this segment. So just so you know, what I'm going to start doing is probably get some artwork done and start putting up bullet points, because I really need to turn these segments into videos from my other channels so I can stay on point. We're going to have segments. I want to bring in callers. I want to bring on guests to the show. So I got to get all my ducks in a row for that to happen. But we got 15 more minutes. But there's something I want to talk about. I want to talk about this. And I want to know what y'all feel. All right. So this question is for my Detroit Lions fans. And we getting close to that time. Now, you guys know how I feel, all right? There should be no doubt in your mind as to how I feel about this subject. What am I talking about? Well, there's a quarterback in the National Football League. He won a Super Bowl in 2021. He now plays on the West Coast for the LA Rams. His name is Matthew Stafford. I saw yesterday that the Rams reworked his deal, but at the end of that, They're on a year-to-year basis, a year-to-year evaluation with John Matthew Stafford. The first thing I thought, don't even think about it. Don't you dare think about coming back to Detroit as a backup, as a water boy on the practice squad. No way. So the minute I saw that, I instantly said, here we go. I guarantee you Detroit Lions fans, some of them, are clamoring to have this guy back. So my question for you is, if the Rams decide to move on from Matthew, I think Matthew is going to have to be told, dude, you can't play anymore. Whether it's by Kelly, whether it's by his children, or a doctor, like any given Sunday. Somebody going to have to pull him in the back and say, Matt, you can't do this. This could ruin your career. It could be over after this. All right? Don't do it. And Matthew's going to do it anyway. So my question for you is, because you know this ain't never going nowhere, if the LA Rams, but they don't have a quarterback right now, like outside of him, they don't have a quarterback. So I guess my question to you is, at any time before he hangs it up, is Matthew Stafford, in your opinion, welcome back in the city of Detroit? There are no wrong answers to this question, only your opinion. I am giving my opinion, and I am going to say a resounding no. Never. He has never, ever allowed back on this team. Ever. I don't care if it's a one-day contract or a 1-hour contract. Matthew Stafford is not ever allowed back on this team. Period. He will never be in the Detroit Lions ring of anything. That's just my opinion. Okay? My ex-wife ain't coming back into my life. She ain't moving back into the house. I'm not giving her a bedroom. Okay? It ain't happening. So that's just my opinion. Now, I don't want to change your opinion, but if it falls out with the Rams and why, okay? Because let's be real. Hendon Hooker he a little shaky. He a little shaky right now. Nate Sudfeld is running with the second team. Now, Hendon Hooker is a rookie, and it'll be a while before this happens. Nate Sudfeld is gone. Hendon Hooker's the quarterback. What do you know? The Lions need a backup quarterback, and Matthew Stafford needs a new team. Are you going to welcome Matthew Stafford back to the Detroit Lions? What would you say? What would you do? Again, there's no wrong answers. This is my opinion. But if you've watched me for any period of time, you already know he is not welcome in any fashion back on this team. You do not get to leave, whether it was your choice or not. In this case, it was his choice. You don't get to leave and then come back once you get what you want. That's not how I roll, okay? That's not how I roll, right? So what are we saying? No. Stafford, Goff's backup. No. Okay, so right now, I don't see a single yes. Is there anybody on the team, anybody in here that would take Matthew Stafford? Patrick says, only way is if he wants to be on a team for a few weeks just to retire, but that's it. He burned that bridge. Stafford isn't going to be a backup unless he is Matt Ryan's coach level bad. Also, I personally would love for Stafford to retire a Lion as a one-day contract. Okay, so you know what, Hunt? I think that's what winds up happening. Myself, am I going to talk about it? Yes, because that's what I do. Am I going to like it? Absolutely not. No way, no how. Okay? My ex-wife don't get to come in here and retire on a one-day contract, right? She don't get to do that. So for me, that bridge is burned. It's been set on fire. There is no more lumber on the planet Earth that could repair that bridge. Okay? So again, there are no wrong answers. Your opinion is your opinion, and you're entitled to it. Stafford, great player. He did what he could for the city of Detroit. But Jared Goff is my guy now and the future. Infinity. Infinity and beyond, okay? That I am not new. For me, it is over. So let me know your thoughts. But when I saw that, I'm like, so what are the Rams kind of feel? Isn't it kind of ironic, right? I'll leave y'all with this. It's ironic that The LA Rams, and this kind of ties back to the Detroit Lions and how they treat their players. I appreciate what Sheila's doing. I appreciate what Brad and Dan are doing because they are taking care of their guys. Think about this. And I'll leave y'all with this analogy, all right? It's a family show, but sometimes it's PG-13, all right? The Rams, in every way, kind of cheated. They tampered with Matthew Stafford. They got him to come to the Rams. He got his championship. And 3 years later, they don't know what they want to do, right? They can't commit to him. Now, granted, dude is 35 years old, 36, whatever he is. He's not going to be playing forever. But wouldn't you think that a guy that brought you a Super Bowl battles through injuries? Wouldn't you think a guy that you traded away your first round pick for, you threw him in the trash, wouldn't you think that he was a priority? No. Nope. They got what they wanted out of you, Matt. And now you are very close to expendable. Don't let him get hurt again. He get hurt again, it could be a wrap. I'm just saying. So for me, it ain't happening. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Okay, so Corey, that's totally different. Glasgow left in free agency. He played for the Denver Broncos. He came back. That's a totally different thing. No, but they will put him in the Ring of Honor. I will throw up if they put him in the Ring of Honor. No, Patty Kelly said he coming back. Kelly said a few years ago when Matthew Stafford is done, when his contract is up with the Rams, he coming back. His wife is why Matthew Stafford will retire a Ram, and they will retire his number when he does. He has a Ram for the rest of his life. You think so, Rick? You think so? See, I think the 12 years Stafford was here, I think it's no way he doesn't retire a Lion. I think it's no way. Think about this. We haven't really seen this before. I mean, we had Cliff Averill. We had a couple guys leave, but we haven't seen this before. We haven't seen a guy of Matthew Stafford's magnitude want to come back. We've had a couple guys, like I said, Cliff Averill. Think about Calvin. Calvin just was like, you ain't going to trade me. I'm out. I'm retiring. But he was still a Lion. Barry Sanders. I'm a fact saying my retirement, but I'm out. I'm still a Lion. We haven't seen this before. If he tries to come back, we should protest. I don't like his wife after what she said on the podcast about him. You mean about him or what she did to him? My friend Kelly here at the crib. I have a question, though. I don't want Stafford back, but why are fans more accepting to wanting Sue back, a player who was planning to leave as soon as he was drafted, but not Stafford? Okay, so that's a really good question to answer. I, myself, have never been like that with Ndamukong Suh. If I had to put guys that Detroit Lions fans absolutely clamor for, it is Stafford and then Suh. Suh left 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And people have been trying to bring this man back. He posted a picture on his IG last week of Rotunda and the Southfield Freeway. And the Detroit Lions Twitter, they just freaked out. And I'm like, first of all, dude's almost 40. Secondly, he said last year was his last year. That if he played third, the rumors are he reached out to the Detroit Lions midseason, and they said politely, that's okay. So I myself have never been like that, but that's a good question. I think Suh, it was the position played. I think Matthew Stafford, him and Calvin Johnson were the face of the organization. I think Suh, Suh was like third. I think it was probably, oh, that's close. I think it was equal Calvin Stafford. I think it was Calvin Stafford, Stafford Calvin, right? But Suh was like a distant third, close second. As far as for me, I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe because Stafford had a baby face when he was drafted. I don't know. I have no idea. She wouldn't ever said that. I don't want Suh back. Yeah, he can't be in the Ring of Honor. To you, Derek, you hate him that much. Stafford is my favorite player. I do not hate that he left, but I understood why. I'll take him back. Fresh and Fly, just my opinion, bro. To me, Matthew Stafford coming back is like me remarrying my ex-wife. That's just that. Yeah, I don't hate him. Let's be very clear. I don't hate anybody, let alone a person I don't know. But for me, that's Stafford is Stafford. He is a warrior. He's all those things. But for me, nope. I mean, do I think he makes the Ring of Honor? I do. Do I think he retires a Lion? I do. Will I care? I won't. That's just, it's over. It's over for me, bro. During like 2014, it was definitely Stafford, Calvin, then Sue. I don't know, man. I think you could interchange Calvin because that was a year. Because Calvin, when did Calvin have his record-setting season? 2016. That's also the year that Stafford was like a dark horse MVP. That's also the year that Stafford was the highest paid quarterback for like a second in the National Football League. So I don't know. The Stafford ship has sailed, and that's why I can't complain for him a backup, or if Goff out for the season, it's better than what we have. Now, Dylan, that's true. That's, oh my God. You talking about it would kill me if Stafford was on this team, something happens to Goff, and he played. Oh my God. I could just imagine it now, how loony this fan base would be. But he gave us his all while he was here, and he got frustrated with the dysfunction and having a new regime every 4 years. You know what, Fresh? All valid. But there are people who went out with the ship, bro. Dan Marino. It's countless people that have zero hardware, but they stayed on their same team. For me, it's about loyalty. Do I want to win? Yeah. But for me, it's about loyalty. But not everybody. I mean, Calvin wanted to be a Patriot. He wanted to get traded. And see, for me, it's all about choice. Let me just use this example. Then we'll wrap up the show. If you commit a crime, right, your punishment is based off of intent. So you got first degree, you have second degree, you got involuntary, you know what, right? You've got all of those things. All of that matters. So you take Jared Goff, who was just chilling, and next thing he's traded. He didn't know he was traded until he found out he was traded. It was already done. You got Stafford, who wanted to leave. So for me, this would be completely different if they shipped him away. Believe it or not, I was an advocate of trading him away because the Lions were not doing what they needed to do. But for me, this was a thing. I saw him. He chose to leave. And then what made it worse is that whole lead up. He was on every magazine. He was just on every interview. He had all this stuff to say. When he was with my team, none of that. Right? So for me, it's done. It's done. I argue with there. I don't take it as disloyal. I just take it as he stopped digging before he struck gold. I don't know, man. I've seen, in my opinion, greater players than him. Barry Sanders is one of them, right? And watching Bye Bye Barry, and you know what? Watching Bye Bye Barry made me even more upset with Matthew, because I don't know if y'all got this from the documentary, but if you didn't watch it, spoiler alert, I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to get out. My takeaway from Bye Bye Barry, and this is just my takeaway, Barry retired from the Detroit Lions because he didn't want to play anywhere else. He knew we weren't going to win, but he didn't want to play anywhere else. That's what I got from that whole documentary. My respect for Barry Sanders shot through the roof when I heard that. Maybe I made it up, but that's what I got. He would rather retire than go somewhere else. Now, the way it was done, you could debate whether, but he rather play for Detroit or not play at all. And that I can respect. Couldn't stand when Chris Collinsworth was saying how he never saw Matthew Stafford play at this level on Sunday Night Football when the Rams played after getting Stafford, but he was never appreciated nationally with Detroit. All of that's facts, bro. That's another thing too, man. And I know what I was going to say. Oh my God, but it's the end of the show. It's the end of the show. what I was going to say, we got to get this in. I was going to mention, you know what's super quiet? The NFL storylines. The NFL storylines, super quiet. So I got one. I got an NFL storyline. It's kind of a multiverse storyline. We'll wrap up the show after this. The NFL storylines are super quiet. I don't really know of any revenge stuff going on. You know, I don't know. But there's one thing that I think. The Kansas City Chiefs are poised to do something that has never been done in the Super Bowl era. I don't even know if it's been done, period. That is 3 consecutive Super Bowls. No team has done it. Patriots did 2. Some other teams did 2, I believe. But no team has done it, right? The Detroit Lions are the only NFC team to not go to a Super Bowl. They're the only OG team that to not go to a Super Bowl, okay? Also win their conference. Only team in the NFC. 90 years old, haven't been. There are 4 teams that haven't been to the Super Bowl. We all know this. 3 AFC, 1 NFC. Texans, hot. Jaguars, they be cooling off. Browns, you never know what you're going to get. Number 1 defense last year. Is it possible that the storyline for the 2024 NFL season is the Chiefs three-peat, but this underdog is going to knock them off, whether it's in the Super Bowl or on the way to the Super Bowl? The team that knocks them off, Browns, Texans, Jags, if they make it to the Super Bowl, guess who's waiting for them? The Detroit Lions. They make their first Super Bowl. They beat the team that could three-peat to win their first one. Right now, that's the only storyline I see. That's the only one I see. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Great conversation with you guys. I'm about to look and see if the day 9 observations are out. Make sure you guys check out the other channel. Lion Syndicate Film Room. We'll be breaking down plays probably as early as Friday. I don't think the All 22 for some reason is available during preseason for me. It was weird last year. I couldn't access it, so I'll probably be using game footage to do that. But the channel's not monetized, so I don't really care. Yeah, man, it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back. So Nick should be back very soon. He's going to graduate very, very soon, so he should be back sometime during the season. And you never know, man. We might have some other guests planned as well, some other shows in the network. So you guys are awesome, man. I will see you on Wednesday. Have a great day. Go Lions, and football is here, baby. Peace.